Welcome class 9. We are revising plant tissues, and in previous module we have done revision of meristematic tissue, and now the remaining permanent tissues we will discuss in this module. And as we know that permanent tissues are derived from the meristematic tissue only, because the cells of meristematic tissue which divide repeatedly, they become mature, and then after that they differentiate into different shapes and sizes and then convert into permanent tissues. So let us compare meristematic tissue with the permanent tissue, and there are 9 points we have to keep in mind while comparing these two tissues or differentiating between these two tissues. They are: number 1, cells divide repeatedly in meristematic tissue, and permanent tissues generally cells do not divide. They divide in specific circumstances in only parenchyma. Then next is cells are undifferentiated in meristematic tissue, as all the cells are almost similar. They are not having any different shape or size in meristematic tissue cells, but the permanent tissue cells are fully differentiated, means the cells are different from each other. Parenchymatous cells are different from sclerenchymatous cells. Sclerenchymatous cells are different from collenchymatous cells, and they have their specific features also. Then number 3 is cells are smaller and isodiametric in meristematic tissue, and this is because they need to divide only, and permanent tissue cells are large and they have definite shape and sizes. And then after, intercellular space is absent in meristematic tissue, but permanent tissues have intercellular space, but in sclerenchyma intercellular space is not present. Then next is vacuoles are generally absent in meristematic tissue because there is no need to store anything and all, so that they are not present in meristematic tissue. And in permanent tissues, large vacuoles or vacuoles of different size are present. Then number 6, that is, in meristematic tissue dense cytoplasm is present in the cell, and in permanent tissues cytoplasm is present in the form of a thin layer around the vacuole. And then after, cell walls are thin in meristematic tissue because they need to divide, and in permanent tissue cell wall are thick. But in parenchymatous tissues, the cell wall is not much thick, and that is just like meristematic tissue, little thicker than them. And then meristematic tissues help in growth, but permanent tissues, they help in protection, support, photosynthesis, conduction of substances, that means transportation of substances. And meristematic tissue cells are living cells, and permanent tissue cells are living or maybe dead, like parenchyma and collenchyma cells are live cells and sclerenchymatous cells are dead cells. So that was the difference between meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. But permanent tissues are again of two types we all know about, and that are simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. So let us see a quick difference or comparison between these two. And permanent tissue cells are similar to each other, means parenchyma hai to all the cells of parenchyma are same, and if it is collenchyma then all the cells of collenchyma are similar. But in complex permanent tissues, cells are of different types, that is made up of bunch of cells, means कॉम्प्लेक्स परमानेंट टिश्यूज में आते हैं जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम, एंड जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम आर मेड अप ऑफ 4 टाइप ऑफ सेल्स, एंड दिस इज द कॉज बिहाइंड वी कॉल देम कॉम्प्लेक्स परमानेंट टिश्यूज. Then after, simple permanent tissue help in protection, support and photosynthesis specifically, and complex permanent tissues help in conduction of the substances. What substances? Food and water plus mineral. And examples: parenchyma, sclerenchyma and collenchyma are the examples of simple permanent tissue, and xylem and phloem are the examples of complex permanent tissues. Now let us discuss about parenchyma. As you all know about, I had sent PDF also, and previously also we had done this, but now let us revise it, that parenchymatous cells almost are of same structure. They are not so much of differentiated. What is the difference between meristematic tissue cell and parenchymatous tissue cell is generally the large vacuole. Otherwise, I told you earlier also that they also have thin cell wall. That cell wall present in parenchyma is thicker than the cell wall present in meristematic tissue cells, but the structure of cell is not so differentiated, so less differentiation occur in this, and they can have the power of division also. So the cells are differentiate, or we can differentiate cells of parenchyma from meristematic tissue cells with the help of only presence of intercellular space and the large vacuole, right? Then cells are generally isodiametric, or they may be elongated, and they are made up of cellulose. The cell wall are made up of cellulose, means the deposition of the substance is only cellulose in parenchyma, and large intercellular space is present in these cells. Then these type of cells are present in the soft parts of plants like cortex of root, ground tissues in the stem and leaves. And you can see the structure also, simple cell, and this is the type of cell you use to make as a plant cell. The next one is collenchyma, and this type of tissue is having little differentiation, and the cell wall becomes thicker than the parenchyma, and the cells are, yes, live cells, as parenchymatous cells are also live cells and collenchyma cells are also live cells. But one another specific feature is present in this which help to differentiate or identify collenchyma, that is the thickening of the material at the corners. So if you find any cells which have thickening at the corners, that cells are collenchymatous cells, or that are the cells of collenchyma tissue. Less intercellular space is present in this type of tissue, and deposition is of cellulose and pectin. These two substances are deposited in the cell wall of the collenchymatous cells, and they found below the epidermis, or other than that leaf stalk, and in midribs and herbaceous dicot stem. Actually, dicot stems, dicots which are small plants, which are herb-like plants, they have green stems, so that this type of tissue is also found over there. And you can see the diagram also, in which it appears that the thickening is present at the corners. Next type of tissue is sclerenchyma, and the cells are dead without any protoplasm. ये और भी ज़्यादा differentiate हो गया. Cells are now totally dead cells and they don't have any cytoplasm, so that they are not also having nucleus and all. Nothing is present. So what present inside the cell? That is hollow area, narrow lumen, hollow lumen. Okay, and that cells are long, narrow, and thick walled. Wall are thicker than the collenchymatous cells. These cells are closely packed, no intercellular space present, as I told earlier, and deposition is of lignin only. Now the cells have lignin deposition in the cell walls, and these are found in the stem, around vascular bundle, veins of leaves, covering of the seeds and nuts, husk of coconut, etc. This we discussed earlier also, and you can see the picture, see this diagram also, which tells you that what is the shape and the structure of sclerenchymatous cells. Now, the specific tissue, which is spatial tissue, that are also the part of permanent tissue, and that is protective tissue. And this protective tissue form outermost layer of the plant body, which protect the plant from loss of water and minor external injuries. So that protective tissue act as skin in the plants. जैसे हमारी skin हमको protect करती है, similarly protective tissue help plants and it prevent the infections, it protect the plant from injuries, as well as it prevent loss of water also. And the protective tissue is mainly of two types. The first one is epidermis and the other one is cork. So epidermis, जो भी आप outer surface देख रहे हो plant का, that is epidermis. If it is not cracked and brown in color and dark in color, then other than that, the structure which you are able to see in the plant parts from outermost covering, that is epidermis. So epidermis is outermost layer of all parts of the plant. Cells are made up of parenchyma. All the cells of epidermis are made up of parenchyma. Cells of epidermis are elongated, flattened, irregular in shape, and epidermis have stomata in leaves and the green parts of the shoot. If the stem is green in color, you can see, then that contain chlorophyll or any pigment. If it is of any other color, and if any color is there in the leaves, and that is stem, and that is soft, so it shows that they also have some stomata for gaseous exchange and for respiration. So in that way, stomata are found in the epidermis or outermost layer of the protective tissue. And let us see the functions of epidermis. अब जैसा कि पहले ही मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया कि दैट इज द प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर, सो दैट द मेन फंक्शन इज protection. So it acts as a protective tissue. It protects from excessive heat and cold and from the attack of parasites, fungi, bacteria, etc. So it provide total protection. जैसे हमारी बॉडी में हमारी स्किन हमको प्रोटेक्शन दे रही है, similarly epidermis provide protection to the plants. And waxy layer of cuticle present in epidermis to reduce the loss of water. So the epidermis also have certain waxy layer so that the water can be conserved in the plant, it could not be lost. Now let us see what is, or let us discuss about stomata which are found in the epidermis. You all are aware about stomata, and let us see it again. That small opening present in the epidermis of the leaf or the green parts of the stem, these openings are called as stomata. Generally stomata in dicot plants found in the underside of the leaves and or on the lower epidermis, and in monocots they can be found on the both of the sides, and they are surrounded by kidney shaped or bean shaped guard cells. You can see over here in the diagram also. And dicot plants have guard cells of kidney shape, but in monocots these guard cells are of dumbbell shape. Okay, then after, guard cells are only epidermal cells which contain chloroplast. If you remove that epidermis from any of the leaf or any of the part of plant, you can find it that is not of green in color, very faded green color it is, and only the stomatal guard cells are there which contain chlorophyll in the epidermal cells. So I am telling you this, that guard cells are only the cells present in the epidermis which contain chloroplast. Other than guard cells, no cell of epidermis have chloroplasts. Then stomata are the site of transpiration and gaseous exchange in the plants. So that you all know about this. And then after, cork. Cork, outermost protective tissue of stems and roots. So this type of tissues which are found on the trees, big plants, those trees which have that brown colored bark, that bark may be converted into cork also, and you can see over here in the pictures also that how this bark or that cork portion is removed from the trees. So this is formed by secondary lateral मेरिस्टम which is called cork cambium. जो secondary मेरिस्टम था, मेरिस्टमेटिक टिश्यू में पढ़ा था हमने, lateral मेरिस्टम which is also called as secondary मेरिस्टम, and that मेरिस्टम help in increase in the circumference of the plants or trees. And you can see over here trees which are thicker, and this bark or this cork is removed from the tree. You can see in the picture also. And cells are dead and compactly packed. The cells of cork are dead and compactly packed. These cells have thick walls which are impermeable. The cell wall is impermeable, that means it do not allow anything to pass through. And the main function of this cork is to protect the plant and prevent water loss. Right? So this is this bark or the cork that is present in the plants to protect them from different calamities, like from the attack of heat or cold or insects or any bacteria or any pathogen, other pathogens. And one more thing is there, that suberin is present in the cell wall of cork cells. That is a waxy substance which is deposited in the cell wall of cork cells. Then after, the next type of permanent tissue, that is complex permanent tissue. And complex permanent tissue, there are two type of complex permanent tissues. Xylem. Xylem is composed of four type of cells, as you all know about. Tracheids. You can see over here the structure of tracheids, and these tracheids are long tubular dead cells with lignified walls and tapering end. The cells contain lignin, and the ends, these ends you can see tapering ends. Tapering ends means which gradually become narrower at the ends. Then vessels. You also can see the vessel in the diagram. Vessels are long tube like structure formed by a row of cells placed one and two place end to end. That means these cells, as you can see the member of the vessels, and these members, all the cells, tubular cells, all these cells combine together to form a specific tubular structure or tube like structure. Next is xylem parenchyma. So parenchymatous cells, as you know that what is the structure of parenchymatous cells, and that parenchymatous cells are also the components of xylem. It is made up of live cells or living cells with thin cell wall, and they help in store food and help in sideways conduction of water, so that through these cells water can move in the sides also. Then xylem fiber. Dead cells of xylem fiber are present in xylem, which provide support to the tissue, and the structure you can see over here in this, the structure fiber, right? Next is phloem. Phloem is the next type of permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue. Phloem help in transportation of food, and xylem help in transportation of water and minerals. Then phloem, that again are composed of four type of cells. Sieve tubes, you can see in the diagram, these are tubular cells with end walls perforated by pores which are called sieve plates. You can see in the diagram the sieve plate which is having holes in it. So if any plate is having hole, that is called perforation, है ना, hold plate. तो that वो जो छेद हो रहे हैं, you can see in the end of the sieve tube, that is sieve plate which is having these holes, and that is called as perforated sieve plate. Sieve tube do not have nucleus but have thin layer of cytoplasm. So sieve tube is not having any nucleus. Because of this, they have companion cell which help in the control of the functions of cell, these sieve tubes. Companion cells are small elongated cells with dense cytoplasm and prominent nucleus. So you can see companion cell have a prominent nucleus which is helping in the control of both type of cells, right? Then phloem parenchyma is also present, and that cells are typical parenchymatous cells, and phloem fiber, which is again lignified elongated structure, fiber like structure you can see in this. So what is the difference between this xylem and phloem? Xylem help in transportation of water and minerals, and phloem help in transportation of food in the plants, transportation of food from leaves to the different parts of the plant to store that, and from the stored part from the different places where the food is needed. The next difference we can see is that the cells in the xylem, most of the cells of xylem are dead cells. Means in xylem you can find tracheids, vessels and fibers. All these cells are dead cells, but only the xylem parenchyma cells are living cells. But in phloem, most of the cells are live cells. Sieve tubes, as you know that they contain cytoplasm. Companion cells, they are also live cells. Phloem parenchyma, that is also live cells. Only the phloem fiber is there, which is dead cell. So in this way we can differentiate also between these. And functions, I told that xylem help in transportation of water and minerals, and phloem helps in transportation of food. So do revise it carefully and be prepared for your tests.